Hello everyone, this is Aryan Thakkar, your coach and mentor, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to cover your Act 3, Scene 2 of Macbeth. Now, in Act 3, Scene 2 of Macbeth, Lady Macbeth confirms that Banquo has left the court. And Macbeth, in particular, confides in his deep-rooted fear for Banquo and Fleance, owing to the witch's prophecy that Banquo shall be a father to the line of royal lineage. He indeed shares that he plans to ambush, kill, murder both Banquo and Fleance, but does not go any further by revealing his entire plan because he sees that Lady Macbeth is already internally turmoiled and guilt trip after Duncan's murder. Rather, Macbeth urges Lady Macbeth to address Banquo during the banquet scene with the best hospitality possible so that it can keep Macbeth and Lady Macbeth free of suspicion. ठीक है, Banquo has already suspected. Banquo feels that Macbeth has acquired the throne by foul means, as I said in the previous video. So he urges Lady Macbeth to give the best of her hospitality to Banquo in the banquet scene. But he does not share his entire plan to get Banquo murdered on the night of the banquet scene itself. Now, Lady Macbeth urges Macbeth to bury any kind of guilt because she feels what's done is done and cannot be undone. And little does she know that Macbeth at this point is not worried about Duncan's murder. Rather, his fears are deep rooted more towards Banquo and his son Fleance, owing to the prophecy. Uh, the secret which Macbeth keeps about Banquo's murder, which he's about to commit by hiring those murderers, it shows their drifting relationship as a couple, and their roles have inversed and the power dynamics has shifted. Unlike the previous scene in which Lady Macbeth would press Macbeth to commit regicide. And further, they both share that uh, after having ascended to throne, they are actually not internally happy. So let's get into the summary and the quotations and lines which you need to remember. First of all, as I said, Lady Macbeth plays a passive role, not active, unlike the previous scene. So we get to see a shift in the power dynamics between the couple. Okay, this is the first important element. Lady Macbeth, once who was dominant because she had forced Macbeth to murder Duncan, now she has taken a back seat in this particular scene. She feels anxious and dissatisfied after having acquired the throne. Macbeth takes control, takes charge. He is the active character here, keeping his wife unaware of his plan. He keeps secret that he is actually planned to murder Banquo and Fleance, get Banquo and Fleance murdered. Rather, he just expresses his worries about Banquo and Fleance owing to the prophecy. ठीक है, but वो कुछ बताता नहीं है लेडी मैकबेथ को कि वो उन्हें मारने का प्लान ऑलरेडी बना चुका है, मर्डरर्स से ऑलरेडी उसका बात हो चुका है. The quotation, be innocent of the knowledge, dearest Chuck, it implies that as a husband, he is concerned about Lady Macbeth, that he sees Lady Macbeth is already inwardly troubled and he does not further want to trouble her. Okay, so that is why this line says that be oblivious, be ignorant of the knowledge till the deed is accomplished. It also shows that he doesn't want to share his secrets with anyone because at this point of time, to maintain his power and throne, he can stoop down to any level and he trusts nobody. Okay, chaliye, moving to the next one. There is a theme of paranoia and guilt evident here because both the distressed husband and wife, Macbeth and Lady Macbeth, they share that whatever they have done, it is of no use actually. They cannot sleep, they cannot walk in peace. They feel threatened by their own peers. They don't know who is suspecting them and whatnot. Okay? So Macbeth is restless. No, Lady Macbeth regrets their action where she says knots had all spent. So they achieved nothing by becoming the king and queen, and all they have traded is their peace of mind with devil. Macbeth is restless and consumed by fear of Banquo's prophecy. And the important quotation, oh, full of scorpion is my mind, dear wife. That means he is internally troubled. He is troubled in his own mind. thinking about the fact that his reign, his power shall go to an unlineal hand and not to his own heir, to his own descendants, Macbeth's own descendants. Third, Macbeth's transformation as a character. He is no longer hesitant, unlike he was during Duncan's murder, where he felt troubled while murdering him, but now he's become more ruthless and he embraces the darkness and violence, where he invokes all the dark entities and the darkness of night to come and envelope, means do the dark deed in the darkness of the night time. And this reiterates to the theme of deception. Okay, he single-handedly plans Banquo's murder without Lady Macbeth's involvement. He sees killing as a means to, as a source to secure his position. But little does Macbeth knows that in later scene, in the murder scene, Fleance's escape will dawn on him that a part of witch's prophecy still remains true. Please remember that. Use of darkness and night imagery is significant in this particular scene, where Macbeth calls upon the night to hide his crimes. This phrase is important. The quotation, "Come sealing night, scarf up," means cover up the tender eye of the pitiful day. Contrast, Lady Macbeth once called for darkness. This contrasts with Act 1, Scene 5. Halaki it is not important, aapka aayega nahi, but still keep it in mind. And now Macbeth is doing the same thing. He embraces it completely. Now this scene also foreshadows, means hints at the future events, and is dramatically ironical that Macbeth hints at Banquo's murder but does not reveal details, unlike in the previous scene where the couple shared their secrets and they planned everything together. Lady Macbeth, once the instigator who incited, provoked Macbeth, is now unaware of Macbeth's violent plans, and this builds suspense. Audience knows more than Lady Macbeth. Okay, please remember this. Your key takeaways are: marks Macbeth's descent into tyranny to even commit more and more crimes to secure his kingly position. Lady Macbeth's control diminishes while Macbeth's ruthlessness grows further. This scene sets up for the further conflict and division between them. That means their drifting relationship is foreshadowed, is highlighted here. Okay, except for the banquet scene where again Lady Macbeth will take an active role as a wife, when she'll try to cover up for Macbeth's erratic behavior on seeing Banquo's ghost. Important themes: power shift. I already said Lady Macbeth, once dominant, now feels anxious. Aap khud se pad lijiye. Macbeth takes charge, making decisions without her input, without her consideration. Significance highlights Macbeth's growing independence and tyranny. Paranoia and fear. Macbeth is consumed by fear of Banquo and Fleance. He believes his crown is meaningless, it's fruitless, as long as Banquo heir, that means his offspring, his descendants shall bear the royal lineage. Significance is fear drives Macbeth to commit more and more murders. Okay. So it is Macbeth's free will, fate versus free will. So it is Macbeth's free will, his free choices, that leads to his ultimate perish and downfall later in the play. Theme of ambition and ruthlessness is also governing here. Macbeth is no longer hesitant. He actively plans Banquo's murder. Unlike before, he does not need Lady Macbeth for being persuaded. Significance shows his transformation into a cold-blooded tyrant. Guilt and paranoia. Lady Macbeth expresses regret. Knots had all spent. It represents her internal trauma. Okay. The peace of mind which has been traded after having killed Duncan. And Macbeth, however, chooses further violence and remorse. Significance is contrast between Lady Macbeth's declining confidence and Macbeth's increasing brutality. ये सारे phrases को अपने आंसर में इस्तेमाल करिएगा, आपका आंसर elevate होगा. And there is also a theme of darkness and evil, where Macbeth invokes, calls upon all the knights. Darkness to conceal means to hide his action that he's about to commit, and he has a similarity in character to that of Lady Macbeth, who was doing the same thing in the previous act, that is in Act 1, Scene 5. So he is similar to Lady Macbeth in Act 1, Scene 5, but now Macbeth embraces the darkness himself. Significance is that darkness symbolizes Macbeth's moral corruption. He has become morally corrupted, at the same time alienated. He lacks to identify between moral and immoral, ethical and unethical. Okay? Your key quotations are: knots had all spent where our desire has got without content, means without satisfaction. So हमारी इच्छाएं तो पूरी हो गई, हम राजा और रानी तो बन गए, लेकिन हमें कोई भी पीस ऑफ माइंड नहीं मिल रहा है. तो ये किस टाइप का पोजीशन है? दैट इज व्हाट लेडी मैकबेथ वंडर्स. Speaker is Lady Macbeth over here, meaning I've written they have achieved their goal but they are still unhappy. Why is it significant? Because it shows her early signs of guilt and regret, which foreshadows into the sleepwalking scene that she will end up committing suicide. Oh, full of scorpion is my mind, dear wife. Speaker is Macbeth, meaning his thoughts are filled with pain and paranoia at the thought that Banquo is alive and Fleance might descend the royal throne. Significance is emphasizes his fear for Banquo and his growing instability. Be innocent of the knowledge. Third important quote. Be innocent of the knowledge, dearest Chuck. Chuck is like, dearest wife. When you call someone who's very close to you, in that sense he has said, till thou applaud the deed, till the deed shall be done. Speaker is Macbeth, meaning he keeps Lady Macbeth unaware, oblivious, ignorant of Banquo's planned murder. Significance is it marks a shift. It marks the inversion of their role as characters, where Lady Macbeth takes a backseat and Macbeth plays a dominating role in this particular scene. He no longer needs her guidance. Come sealing night, scarf up the tender eye of pitiful day. Speaker is Macbeth, where he calls upon darkness. He invokes all the dark agents to come and help him in his deed to get Banquo and Fleance killed. Significance is that he reinforces the theme of evil and it foreshadows, indicates further violence that he shall descend into. Symbolism. Darkness is symbolic over here. It represents evil, secrecy and corruption. Macbeth embraces the darkness, unlike before when he was killing Duncan. He was hesitant. Scorpion symbolizes Macbeth's mental torment, and there is a subtle irony where Macbeth says, full of scorpion is in my mind. Rather, he himself acts like a scorpion and tries to sting everyone who poses a potential threat to his throne. So that is a slight irony that he says. Subtle irony is there. His thoughts are dangerous and poisonous, that like of scorpion. That is what irony is. Banquo as a threat. Banquo represents Macbeth's insecurity and the consequences of the unchecked ambition. Macbeth sees him as an obstacle, as a hindrance, as a musibat, despite being his peer, his camaraderie, his friend. And secrecy, Macbeth starts keeping secrets from Lady Macbeth because at this point of time he trusts nobody till he has fully secured his throne. And also is the secrecy symbolizes the growing divide between them, means their drifting relationship. Okay, so I hope you are liking my content, and if you are, then please do like, share, subscribe and share it with your friends, and have a great time preparing for your examination. Bye bye.